With Season 8 ramping up, I thought this would be the perfect time to make the Echion guide. For those who don't know, Echion has been my main since I've actually started the game, is actually the character that I based my name off of. So within my 5 months of streaming, I've actually learned a little bit about this character that I'd like to share with you. Going straight into the skills, Echion's skills are nothing difficult to learn, nothing amazing. The only thing that is difficult about this character is his passive. His Q is a simple skill shot, shoots out 2 beams, first beam and a straight line, second beam and a little bit of a cone. If the second beam hits, it slows down your target, allowing you to keep chase a little bit longer or even protect yourself depending on the situation. Your W, probably one of your most unique utility skills, which allows you to not only control your passive by reducing your passive whenever it's activated, it also gives you a simple shield. Again, the abilities aren't anything crazy, but they are something that you need to know. E being dry bite. Dry bite is one of the simplest abilities. It is a dash that does go through walls. When it hits a target, aka a creature or person, you actually get another ability use out of it. This ability is also affected by your D skill. Once you activate your D skill, you can actually reduce the cooldown timer on your E depending on where it's at in stage. Going on to your R. R kind of goes hand in hand with your passive. Whenever your passive is fully filled up, your R activates, taking out your Q and your W. This is not something that goes on cooldown. This is just something that turns on whenever your VF meter is fully up. It does have different effects depending on which color you are. So with the VF overflow, if you are in purple mode, it does damage, obviously. Blue mode does simple damage as well. Red actually gives you a knock up within the second tick. So it'll hit 1 tick and then hit a second tick afterwards that can knock up your opponent. Again, very simple ability. These abilities aren't anything crazy. Going into your passive, unlike other characters, Echion actually does not have a weapon. He simply has his arm. When Echion is upgrading his passive, he actually upgrades his weapon tier depending on that, and upgrades that using rare materials depending on the color. Red being the one that merges with tree, blue merging with mithril, purple merging with meteorite. Jumping straight into the D skill. Your D skill, again, a simple ability. If your passive is below a certain level, it actually will increase your VF amount, getting you closer to your ult. If it is above a certain level when you activate it, it actually decreases it, getting you further away from your ult. Gives you a lot of versatility when you're controlling your passive, and it's something that is a quintessential skill for you to learn when playing this character. Going even further than that, like I said before, it does actually reduce the cooldown of your E and can prolong the use of your R. So again, this is a utility skill when using your ult or trying to preserve your ult. It is probably the most important skill that you have on this character. And again, I reiterate, Echion is not a character that is able to fight everyone until he is level 9 with a level 7 weapon skill. He needs all of his abilities ready to go at the perfect amount to be able to fight, and even past that, he's a character that really thrives on having his gold upgrade. So let's talk about the kicker. Echion, probably one of my favorite characters of all time. He has a very strong build in the current season. I did create my own plan here if you want to try to grab this code. It's 678234. The build's fairly simple. Starting off in school, heading through alleyway, teleporting to factory, hitting chapel just in time for either the sim tree here, or if you want to teleport up to temple, you can try to contest temple tree as well, giving you 2 accesses to early game tree right after that. The main build, we're running the Black Mamba King, obviously. Red Echion is still one of the strongest Echions in the game, has been for a very long time. Battle suit, a very versatile item, can easily be upgraded straight into Guardian suit. Tactical ops helmet, giving us a little bit more attack speed, a little bit cooldown reduction, try to help us stay in a fight longer. Definitely a very versatile option. Sword stopper, item that's been on Echion for a very long time, but not one that's been this good in a long time. Easily upgraded into Centipede's Pauldron, quick 1-2 upgrade. Going for Maverick runners in this build just for a quick easy movement speed upgrade, a little bit of tenacity, a little bit of attack power, nothing crazy. Then last but not least, music box, giving us more HP for our tankiness and more attack speed. Red Echion definitely loves attack speed, definitely loves to be more sustainable in a fight because he's going to be dodging in and out of fights throughout the entire game. Just a couple simple food options. Obviously, you can get a little bit of rum raisin bread straight up in school. Moving on to alley, you get the ingredients between alley and factory to create garlic ramen. You can even get a little bit more garlic in cemetery after contesting for the tree. Going for our skill leveling here. So skill leveling is a little weird on Echion. I do have this in the build where we always start with our E for quick, easy movement, allow us to move past walls, be able to get to the next areas faster. Going straight into our Q max, we max Q first right after E, go straight into it. That's our most damaging abilities, our long range abilities, also our slow. W, do not forget to take your W. This is something that's going to control your anger within the game. It can be able to control your meter throughout the entire game. Great tool to have and a great bit of defense early. Now, this is the weird thing about it. I always say max your R when you can. Obviously with this build, it doesn't show us maxing our passive until later. That is not entirely correct because obviously with Echion's passive, it is maxed every time when your ult is available. But before you can even click anything else, you actually have to max your passive, then your ult, then continue maxing Q, then E, then finally W. and by that you should have a full hit. Going over my recommended augments, these are augments that I've been using for months now. They still work pretty great. Sentinel is a great damaging ability, gives us a shield. So damaging an enemy test subject with skill grants you and your allies within 8 meters a shield that lasts about 6 seconds. So again, we talk about that sustainability. When you fall below 20% HP, that shield is increased by 1.5 times. This shield's HP cannot exceed 35% of your max HP. So within solo, our shield is 65 plus the level times 2. Sentinel is honestly a great ability for Echion, especially red Echion. It gives us a lot more sustainability inside of a fight, and that longevity is what really helps us get the mark where we need it. And similarly, using your ultimate grants you and your allies in a 4-meter radius a shield. Again, we talk about sustainability. Huge thing about Echion. Once your ult comes out, you actually lose 2 of your abilities. You lose that shield, you lose that Q, so you need a little bit extra health to live. And honestly, a no-brainer. Penny Pincher, one of the staples of the support tier. If we can't get that early tree, if we can't get that meteorite, being that we have a build that can easily upgrade, this is something that's going to save us credits and get us that upgrade a lot faster. Going straight into our Havoc sideline, Quench, again, it's a no-brainer. It's something that Echion has used from the very beginning. You and your summons deal 15% more damage, so summons in this case does include our ultimate, and heal for 10% of that damage dealt to wild animals. You and your summons also deal 4.5% more damage and heal 3% of damage dealt to Alpha, Omega, and Wiccaline. This is the ability that allows Echion to solo Alpha, Omega, and even Wiccaline, depending on the situation. Just doing the 15% more damage is a big thing for Echion. And then Stomping Power gains 6% armor penetration. Again, while you don't mind lasting a fight out, we need to get that fight done as fast as possible. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and walk you through a quick bot game just to show you a little bit of the pathing. That way you can have a good understanding of what you actually need to do with this character. Again, if you want to use this build will be available. The ID code is here. But the build just simply goes through School, Alley, Factory, and Chapel, usually done before the first tree drop, giving the option to choose between Cemetery or Temple Tree to contest. You do obviously end in Chapel, which gives you the easy run up through Cemetery. But again, depending on what's going on in your build, what's going on in your situation, you may want to try to contest Temple, or you may not want to contest anything at all. It does give you the versatility to choose between those options. All right, jumping straight into it real quick. Always starting off your E again, quickly running up. Make sure we always grab the Soju. Again, this is a fairly quick process. Missing just 1 medal here. All right, we don't get it there, so we end up walking up. That's fine. We do have room to actually order when we can't get it. You always want to try to keep yourself like a line. I usually take this path pretty quickly. I don't want to stay too long in one area. Keep in mind, this is a boss battle, but I do usually try to kill some of these chickens over here. So you quickly grab that leather, go here. Do a quick bit of building so we actually get some of our stuff going. Try to always have my bread right after the first zone. So again, we don't have to worry about it too much. Like I said, we easily get what we need. Go to the next area. I like to grab these 6 here just so I can go and have them. Jump across. Up. A little bit of weird movement tech there. From this point on, we're going to go ahead and grab this. We got a little bit of a weird spawn. We do quickly run down. We can't actually get the metal from factory, so we don't even have to order for like we were talking about before. Like I said, it's really easy to actually get our food going here. We do need 3 batteries, which is a little bit much. Just keep in mind what you're looking for. I usually drink the second water. Okay, so we're going to walk down. Again, the same Fiora doing the same thing from before. Alright, so from here we already have most of our build kind of ready to go. Go ahead and get our battle suit ready. I do also recommend, if you're going through this build, try to get it as fast as possible. Try to go ahead and fight animals along the way. So we're already onto our first stack of our passive, giving our weapon. You can see we've got people clearly trying to grab stuff around here. Luckily, we can skip straight through. And we'll finish it off with one more thing here. And then we just quickly finish up our build, and then we have 30 seconds. We actually jump straight across this wall and start heading towards the tree. And that is a full build right there. We do not have our purple weapon yet. Like I said, you will not get your purple weapon until level 9. Quickly jump across. We have 11 seconds. And then you'll go ahead and be at the first tree. Like I said, it's a pretty simple, clean-cut build. With 3 seconds to spare, we actually ended up at the tree at the perfect timing. You just quickly grab that. That's your next upgrade, and you're good to go. Alright, final tips. So Echion is a character that can fight in a prolonged fight, but loves his all-in, balls-to-the-wall maneuver. My best advice for anyone who's learning how to play this character: learn to master your Q and keeping your rage down, aka your VF score, for as long as possible. Once your target is actually low and you're able to stay on them as much as you can, then go for the all-out. Because once you get that all-out and once your ult is gone, if they can actually escape you from there, you lose a lot of your fighting power once your ult is completely gone. You get overcharged, you can no longer use your Q for a little bit longer, and you have to rely heavily on your E, which has a very long cooldown. So keep to your VF score, make sure you're watching it using your W and your D for as long as you can, doing as much damage as you can if you're Q, keeping the chase on as much as you can, and then go for the all-in. But keep in mind how close you are to your ult, because you may need your ult and have your score way too low. That's my final advice for Echion. Like I said, this was a pretty rushed guide. I do apologize, I am a little sick today. But yeah, give it a try. If you like this video and you want to see more Eternal Return guides in the future, feel free to let me know. This is something new for me, and hopefully you enjoy it. Bye.